Welcome to the Reputation Matters podcast. We're here to help you protect and enhance your online reputation. Tune in for tips, tricks, and expert advice. Ready to take control of your online presence? Visit yourrepmatters.com to learn more.
All right, so you really want to level up that online reputation, right? And you keep hearing, like, storytelling is the key. Well, today we're going to figure out why. We're diving into this blog post from yourrepmatters.com. Can break it all down. But first things first, online reputation management. ORM, we all know what that is, right? It's like how people see you online, what they're saying about you, your brand, your business, all that.
And what's so interesting is this blog post is saying storytelling isn't just for selling stuff anymore. It's like essential for any business that wants a good reputation.
Okay, see, now that's got me thinking. Because I think stories, like novels, movies, not businesses.
Yeah.
So what are we even talking about here? What is storytelling for? Like ORM.
It's all about the narrative, a narrative that really shows what your brand is about, its values, its mission. But it can't be fake. It's going to be genuine. Like truly reflect what you stand for.
So it's got to be more than just, we have great customer service. It's like a deeper story.
Yeah. Exactly. Imagine a company making sustainable clothing. They could just list like all the eco-friendly stuff, right? But what if their story was about the founder? Maybe they traveled to places hit hard by fast fashion, saw the environmental damage. And that's what drove them to create a better alternative.
I get it. It's about making people feel something, not just giving them facts and figures, but a real connection.
You got it. And this blog post, it goes deep on why that's so powerful for your reputation. It lists like 5 big benefits. And number 1, building trust, credibility.
Makes sense. Online trust is like everything. There's so much info out there. Got to give people a reason to believe you.
You said it. And stories, they make your brand human. You're not just a logo anymore. You're someone they can relate to, someone with a story they connect with. Like share your company's origin story, even the tough times, the early struggles, how you pulled through. That makes you seem more real, trustworthy.
It's like inviting people backstage a little, showing them the real people behind the scenes. I like that. What's the next benefit then?
This one's huge. Showcasing customer experiences. Let your happy customers do the talking. Instead of you saying how great you are.
You get them to say it.
Right. They share their experience, those aha moments, how your product or service genuinely helped them.
That's way more convincing than any ad, right? It's like getting a recommendation from a friend.
Exactly. Think about it. When you're online, what makes you want to buy something? The company bragging about themselves? Or a real person saying it's awesome?
Real person every time.
Yeah.
Feels more, authentic. Okay, so what's next on this list of benefits?
This one might sound a little weird, but addressing negative feedback positively. Look, nobody likes bad reviews, but they happen. And stories can actually help you deal with them well.
Instead of just, the standard apology you're saying, tell a story about it.
Exactly. Imagine a company has, a product recall. Instead of a boring press release, they tell the story of how they found the problem, the steps they're taking to fix it, and what they're changing so it never happens again.
That's smart. Shows they're taking responsibility, actually learning from the mistake. I can see how that would build trust, even when things go wrong. All right, what else we got?
Standing out in a crowded market. Think about how much noise is online, right? Everyone's fighting for attention. Storytelling, that's how you cut through it all.
You gotta have personality. Something that makes you memorable, different.
Right on. Say there's 2 companies selling basically the same thing. One just lists features and, brags about themselves. The other, they tell you about how they started small, their passion for what they do, maybe even their commitment to, ethical sourcing. Who are you more likely to remember? Who do you want to support?
The one with the story, for sure. Gives me a reason to choose them. Okay, what's the final benefit they've got here?
This is big. Encouraging engagement and advocacy. People love stories, right? They share them, talk about them, recommend them. When you tell good stories, you create content people actually want to engage with and share.
So it's not just telling the story. It's like starting conversations around your brand, building a community.
Exactly. A powerful story, about a company giving back to the community that can go viral, brings in new customers, boosts your reputation, powerful stuff.
All right, so we've got the why storytelling matters. It's clearly a game changer. But now I want to know, the how. How do we actually do this? Put it into practice.
Well, the good news is this blog post has got some really solid tactics to share. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it. Let's get tactical.
Right.
All right, so we know storytelling online, it's essential for a good reputation. But how do we actually do it? This blog post, luckily, has some tactics. What's the first one?
Well, they start with something we talked about already, getting those real customer testimonials. Let your happy customers tell their stories in their words.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's authentic. But how do you make those stand out? Is it just quotes on the website, or can you do more?
Oh, you can definitely do more. Think video testimonials, right? People love seeing a real person, hearing their voice. And you can share those videos everywhere. Websites, social media, even emails.
Makes it way more engaging. Good point. Okay, what else is in this blog post? What other tactics?
Another good one is behind the scenes stuff. Give people a peek behind the curtain. show them the company culture, the people, how things get made.
So it's like humanizing the business. Like
Mhm.
what kind of stuff works well for that?
Oh, so many things, like spotlight your employees, show off their skills,
Yeah.
or maybe give a sneak peek of a new product being developed. You could even show like company events, team building stuff, shows what you value.
Yeah, I like that. Makes the company feel more real, approachable. What other tactics do they have?
Okay, this one might seem kind of strange at first, but sharing your challenges and your triumphs, of course, being open about, the obstacles you faced, how you overcame them, that can actually make your reputation stronger.
Yeah, I get that it makes you seem more human.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it make people think like, oh, maybe they're not so competent?
Not if you do it right. The key is to focus on what you learned, and how things turned out positive in the end. Like, tell a story about a time you messed up, but then owned it, fixed it, and what you changed so it wouldn't happen again.
Shows you're growing, learning. That makes sense. What's the last tactic they have?
This is a big one. Social media and blogging. That's where you share your stories. Those platforms let you connect with people, build your narrative over time, really create a community.
Yeah, social media is all about storytelling anyway, right?
Mhm.
People sharing their lives, experiences. Makes sense for businesses to do it too.
Totally. Think of your social media, it's like a tapestry of stories. Weave it all together, customer testimonials, behind the scenes stuff, stories about overcoming challenges, but make sure it's all, in your brand's voice.
It's like creating a whole world online that people can step into, connect with. I dig it. Anything else important about using these tactics? Does the blog post say anything?
One thing they really stress is know your audience. Like, who are you trying to reach with these stories? What do they care about? What kind of stories will, really grab them?
You wouldn't tell the same story to like college kids versus someone who's retired, right?
Exactly. Think about their age, their interests, their values. Tailor it to them.
What about the tone? Like how you tell the story? Does that matter?
Oh, huge. You got to find a voice that's authentic to your brand. Maybe it's funny, maybe it's heartfelt, maybe it's inspiring. Whatever it is, it's got to be genuine and consistent.
So don't try to be something you're not. Just be you, but the best version of you online.
Right. You got it. And don't be afraid to try different things. Videos, blog posts, those little stories on social media, even podcasts. You got to see what works best for your brand, your audience.
Experimentation. I like it. Got to find what clicks. It's clear, like storytelling online. Game changer for any business that wants a solid reputation. It's not just about sounding good. It's about making a real connection.
Yeah, totally. It's about showing the human side of your brand, sharing your story in a way that, people actually care about.
And I'm thinking as we wrap up, this applies to like regular people too, right? Not just companies. Everyone's got an online presence now, LinkedIn, social media, even just commenting on stuff.
Absolutely. It's not just for businesses. Anyone can benefit from thinking about their online presence, like as a story they're telling.
So like if my personal brand had a story, what would it even be? What should I be thinking about?
Well, start with your values, right? Your skills, your experiences, what makes you you? What do you want people to know? Your online presence, it should reflect that story you want to share with the world.
So it's about being thoughtful, intentional, with the info you share, how you interact online, the image you project.
Exactly. Even the stories you're already telling, maybe without realizing it. Do they match up with your goals, where you want to go?
I'm seeing how powerful this is. It's not just like bragging about yourself. It's about shaping how people see you, building trust, even on a personal level.
Totally. And the key, just like with businesses, is being authentic. Be yourself. Share your experiences honestly. Connect with people, human to human.
This has been like seriously eye-opening. A whole new way of looking at online reputation for everyone, not just companies. Any last bits of wisdom before we sign off?
I'd say think about the brand stories that have really stuck with you. The ones you remember, the ones that made you feel something. What was it about those stories? What can you learn from them and use for your own online presence?
That's a great challenge. Going to be thinking about that for sure.
And remember, telling your story, it's not a one-time thing. Keep trying new things, keep learning, and keep sharing your story with the world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive. Really appreciate your insights.
It's been my pleasure. And to everyone listening, until next time, keep those stories coming.
Thank you for tuning in. Check back next week for our latest episode or visit our website, yourrepmatters.com, to take control of your online reputation. After all, reputation matters.